Hey there, so you're thinking about making a move here to St. George? Well, you are in luck. Today we are going to be talking about some things that you should probably know before you pack up and move your bags here to St. George, and we're going to hop into it right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new, this is my YouTube channel. I post videos every single week about what it's like to live here, what it's like to move here, what it's like to buy real estate here in Utah. Additionally, I'm a real estate agent. I have a fabulous team of agents that help me out as well that I've partnered with, and we would love to help you. If you have any questions, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, days, nights, weekends. We'd love to assist you in the process. Also, if you do want a copy of our free guide of moving to St. George, we would love to email that over to you. So I'm so glad you found this channel, and you're probably either looking at moving, looking at relocating, or looking at possibly, and I hear from people like you all the time, making Utah, specifically St. George, home. So let's talk about some of the different things that you should probably know before making a move here to St. George. Number one, we get what we call the four seasons here, but it's not totally the four seasons. We're not talking like Salt Lake City four seasons where it's snowing. We rarely have snow here in St. George. And in fact, when we do, it lasts for an hour and then it melts. One of the things that you will notice though, fall, you're going to have a really nice, pleasant fall. Sometimes people say fall is their favorite season here in St. George. You've got the beautiful changing colors and scenery. Spring is also another beautiful season where you've got the flowers coming out and everything, but temperatures are still more mild. And then we have a really mild winter here compared to, like I say, up in Salt Lake City where you have a lot of the snow. Here it is more mild. With that being said, though, it can get cold. It does get cold here in St. George, and the wind starts to pick up. So kind of know that. And then summers, it is going to be hot. When people are like, well, how hot, Mariah? You are going to have, it feels like almost an Arizona type of summer where you're going to have 100-degree days, June, July, and August, week after week after week. Temperatures will usually drop to about high 60s, mid 70s, and that will be throughout the summer. So many people love that. They're like, oh, I can go for my nice walks or runs at nighttime. People wake up pretty early in the morning to do a lot of, different workouts. One of the things though I really like about St. George is, yes, those temperatures, a lot of people love living here because they like living a really active lifestyle. And so if you like golfing, if you like bike riding, if you like playing pickleball, if you are a hiker, if you're a mountain biker, whatever that is, St. George lends itself to being a really active sort of place. You've got a lot of different bike paths, you've got different trails, you've got access to the 5 mighty national parks that are down here in St. George. We're about 30 minutes away from Zion National Park. You've got Bryce Canyon, Canyonlands, you've got Arches, Capitol Reef, all 5 of those Utah national parks. If you like living an active lifestyle and you're outdoors a lot, St. George might be an awesome fit for you. Also, the local parks, the regional parks, the state parks here like Snow Canyon are just amazing. Another thing that you should know, number 2, is just the community sort of driven place that St. George really is. It is the 5th largest city in the state of Utah, but you've got this kind of small town feel that you've got a lot of volunteers that come out for all of the different events. You've got ultra marathons here. You've got the St. George Marathon. You've got half marathons like Snow Canyon. You've got all these different fun run races, 5Ks, 10Ks, all throughout the year. And you have participation from the community. You've got people out there ringing their cowbells. You've got people out there with their signs cheering. You have that really nice community feel here in St. George. So if that's something that you're looking for, and if you're looking for a little bit slower pace of life, St. George may be a really good fit for you. Some things that you should know too, if you're thinking about making a move here to St. George, the predominant religion here, about half of the population, a little bit more than half of the population, belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. And with that being said, there are a lot of things that are closed here on Sundays. Yes, closed here on Sundays. So a lot of the, you're going to still have bigger restaurants that are open and whatnot, but you're going to have some of those smaller family owned sort of businesses that will be closed on Sunday. So Sunday tends to be a little bit more quiet sort of a day, which a lot of people that I know that I've helped relocate here or what, they're going, oh, I like that anyway. Like I like having things just, a little bit more kind of that slower pace, a little bit more downtime or whatever. So just know here on Sundays, not everything's closed, but there are a lot of different things that will be closed on Sundays, and you will see a lot of people coming, going to church and whatnot as well. I get asked this question a lot about the water. Yes, the water or lack of water, the water scarcity. You're going to see, because St. George, there's so much new home construction here in St. George. A lot of people are worried about the water supply for good reason. One of the things that many residents have been advised to do is to do more of a desert landscape, or to have more hardscape in their yards, to put turf in the back as opposed to having the grass. You'll see a lot of the different parks here have started to put turf in and have more of that desert landscape to try to preserve that water that we do have here still. So sometimes, depending on what the year is like, whether we're in a drought or whether we're not in a drought, but a lot of residents have been advised to do more of that desert landscape, to just preserve on that water. St. George is booming, and like I mentioned, a lot of new home construction. Because there's so much new home construction, a lot of times people are like, oh, you know what, because there's new home construction, that means there's more traffic. That means there's a little bit more congestion. That means that there's some areas that are going to take a little bit longer to get to than other places here in St. George. So if you're thinking about, making a move out here, plan your trip first to just kind of get an idea of like, okay, well, how long does it take me? I just had a client that reached out that was like, hey, you know what? I want to be close to this particular shopping mall, and I really want to be close to this Harmon's, and I want to be close to, these different things that are here in St. George. So just plan your trip. If you know that your job is going to be, 15 miles away, and you're looking at housing in a certain situation, come out, get a feel, because like I said, we have had so much rapid growth here. Just getting an idea, a lay of the land, and kind of a feel of, okay, would this be a good commute? Or maybe you're retired, or maybe you're able to work from home and those factors won't apply to you. But still, I say, plan the trip out here so you can kind of get an idea of some of those neighborhoods too. With a lot of the new home construction too, there's a lot more job opportunities here, specifically in healthcare, specifically in construction. So if either of those two things are things that you're thinking about or you're already in, St. George could be a really good fit for you. So hopefully this gives you an idea if you are thinking about making a move, relocating, buying, selling, building a property here in St. George, that outdoor recreation, the job market, the proximity to different things, you've got the national parks, you've got a lot of, the state and local parks, you've got the strong sense of community here in St. George. So if those are things that you're like, oh my goodness, this is exactly what I've been looking for, St. George may be the perfect fit for you. But plan your trip, come on out. If you are looking at, relocating, moving here, and you want a copy of our free Moving to St. George, Utah guide, comment down below the word guide, and I'd love to send that over to you. And again, if you have any questions at all, feel free to call, text, email, days, nights, and weekends, and we'd love to connect with you. Take care, and wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.